Ugh. Jagmeet Singh, what are you doing? What is it that you're smoking that makes you think that what you said holds any merit? The entire country is laughing at you, including everybody who's about to watch this video. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. If you joined us here on the channel on Saturday, I put out a video talking about how the late afternoon Friday agreement was reached between Jimmy McJuggernuggets, Jagmeet Singh, and Justin Trudeau in terms of this pharmacare bill, this health deal that was reached. Now, we'd heard for quite some time that Jagmeet Singh had threatened Justin Trudeau that if they hadn't come to an agreement by March 1st, we were going to see maybe some form of non-confidence in the agreement that has been set forth between the coalition of the NDP and the Liberals. Now, Jagmeet Singh will not call it a coalition, but let's call a spade a spade. It's a coalition at the end of the day. He's keeping them alive. And, of course, they come out with this deal on Friday where Jagmeet, puffs up his chest and jumps to the rooftops to scream how monumental of a deal it was. But we all know it wasn't very monumental at all. In fact, the deal isn't even in writing yet. The deal hasn't been solidified. It's just nothing more than word salad or verbal confirmation that some form of an agreement had been reached, as of Friday at least. But Jagmeet Singh saying that it's a monumental win. It's not going to be anything more than the deal that was reached for dental care. This is a nothing burger, essentially. The Liberals are giving the NDP a couple of crumbs out of what they initially requested. And Jagmeet Singh again touts that it's a monumental win for his party, despite the fact not wanting to show his utter failure as party leader. But new news is coming out about Jagmeet Singh. Again, if you missed the video on Saturday, I just wanted to briefly touch over what this deal was that was reached and just talk about how essentially it's nothing in comparison to what Jagmeet Singh was wanting or pushing the Liberals for. Essentially, the deal was put through to cover diabetic medication for people and contraceptives. No longer do we just have free tampons in the men's bathroom, because that's a thing, but now free contraceptives, I guess, as well, because population control is the top of their priority lists. But Jagmeet came forward and said, I can proudly say that not only do we have legislation that specifically refers to single payer, and that refers to the Canadian Health Act and the principles and values, we also have secured commitments to delivering diabetes medication and contraceptives using a single-payer public model. He said that he's confident Canadians can expect coverage for diabetes medication and contraceptives, quote, very quickly. Now, again, he'll puff up his chest, he'll threaten things if we don't see this come to pass very quickly. And what Jagmeet Singh considers quickly in his world could mean 4 months in our world. Let's be completely honest. But now he has taken to sit down with media outlets, even government-paid shill prostitutes, to talk about his plans for the future and where the NDP are sitting. And boy, do we got a doozy for you today. Do you guys remember this embarrassing remark from Jagmeet Singh back when he said he was going to be prime minister? Let's take a listen if you haven't heard it.
Honourable member for Burnaby South.
When I'm prime minister, I will keep my promises. Now, another promise. Let me try again.
Call for order because everyone was laughing. Look, you can see Andrew Scheer. You can see Andrew Scheer down here laughing. Jagmeet Singh saying he's going to be prime minister. It's funny at best, but we see here first he sat down with CTV's question period, where he's admitting to being the cause of a lot of problems Canada's facing. It says, saying that we are the ones making this government do things they would not otherwise have done. Let's just take a listen to this quote, because this is going to lead into the ridiculously funny thing that he claimed on this interview.
Since Parliament resumed this year, you've called the Prime Minister, quote, bad, really bad. You've said, quote, he fails to uphold reproductive rights, that he, quote, stood by and did nothing about auto thefts, that he and his government, quote, bankroll corporate greed, that he, quote, sided with rich developers, that he, quote, favors the ultra-rich, and finally, quote, under his leadership, things got worse for people. You remain the key ingredient to keeping him in that position. What do you say to Canadians who want the chance to address exactly what you spell out, but you and your party are preventing them from doing so?
Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done. Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done. Well, I would say to them, we are the ones that are making this government do things that they would not have otherwise done.
So they put it over 3 times for good measure. But we're the ones making this government do things they would not have otherwise done. Are we talking heat pumps? Are we talking $250 million going to companies that claim to do IT, even though they don't do IT out of a basement? Are we talking about billion-dollar slush funds? Like what is it that you've made the Liberals do, Jagmeet Singh, that other people otherwise haven't done? The laughable thing, ladies and gentlemen, is this quote. I'm not even going to read the tweet quote because let's just play what he says. I fell off my chair laughing. Get ready. I hope you're not drinking or eating anything. Here we go.
Well, our vision is that we're going to keep on fighting with everything we have in a minority government to give Canadians as much relief as possible. We're going to squeeze as much as we can out of the Liberals, and then I'm running for Prime Minister. Well,
I'm going to run for Prime Minister. I'm going to squeeze everything I can out of the Liberals and run for Prime Minister. I'm sorry. I try so hard. Listen, this is about the 5th time I filmed this video and I laugh every time. I'm sorry. I can't keep it in. It is so embarrassingly funny that this person thinks that they legitimately have any chance of running the gambit to be Prime Minister of this country. This man couldn't find water if he fell out of a boat. Okay? Like, this guy is so clueless. He's keeping Justin Trudeau in power, and he thinks that people would vote him in to be Prime Minister of Canada. Now, while we're having this laugh at Jagmeet Singh's embarrassing remarks here, I mean, let's just take a look. Let's take a look at the comments here. Let's take a look at what the comments have to say, just for fun. Remember this one, Jagmeet Singh. You have 25 seats. You'll never be PM. Thank you. Think he took the blue pill, and somebody says he took something. Jagmeet Singh promised universal pharmacare on March 1st, and then Jagmeet said he would end his pact with the Liberal if they didn't do it. He's been repeating that lie for 2 years. Now we have to get free condoms and cheap insulin. No pharmacare, no timeline, no budget. Again, like I said, it was a nothing burger. The whole deal that they reached is essentially nothing. He will never be PM to Canada. This is what evil looks like. Tell you one thing, doing another. They lie as easy as breathing. I mean, look at the... He's within margin of error of being ahead of his boss. Like, guys, this is laughable. It's laughable at best. No thanks. We don't want to become Canadistan. Which I'll remind you, Jagmeet Singh can't even go to India. How is he going to be Prime Minister of Canada? And he can't even go to certain countries around the world, that he's blocked out from certain countries around the world. Now, a lot of people have said that this deal that Jagmeet is pushing forward is going to be the end of any hopes of a spring election. And again, I've said many, many times on this channel, I still think Pierre's in campaign mode. I think Justin's in campaign mode. We've seen him doing numerous rounds around the country with press junkets talking about his inclusivity and his diversiveness and his reconciliation and his climate change and all his usual word salad blathering nonsense. But the reason I think that we're still in par for an election sooner than later, sooner than 2025 at least, is because this man touting his wonderful, amazing deal that they got on Friday and then going on the news to say he's going to run for Prime Minister. I'm sorry. But here's where things can change with the NDPs. In Canadian politics, a leadership convention is held by a political party when the party needs to choose a leader due to a vacancy or a challenge to the incumbent leader. Now, I've already said that when you go back to the Paul Martin days, when you go back to Jean Chrétien, you've seen times where people have passed or crossed over the floor. People have actually left their parties. We're hearing of independent MPs who are now talking about joining the Conservatives because they like what Pierre Poilievre has to sell. Now, when it comes to the NDP, as it states right here, in Canada, leaders of a party generally remain the party's de facto candidate for prime minister until they die, resign, or are dismissed by the party. In the federal New Democrat Party, which is the NDP, and some provincial NDPs, the position of party leader was treated as all other positions on the party's executive committee and are open for election at party conventions generally held every 2 years, although incumbent leaders rarely face more than token opposition. The reason I want to bring this up is because there's a very strong chance with this nothing burger of a deal that some of Jagmeet Singh's cohorts and peers, as we call them, within the political spectrum are possibly going to start getting a cold feet. They're going to start worrying about this man sinking the ship that they're riding on. And I really think we're going to start to see possibly some pushback when it comes to his party over what he's doing to prop up this liberal government. And not only that, but claiming victories over small advances is no way to run a party. The writing, I think, is on the wall. And these guys, look, I'm open, aside from our money being stolen, and things getting progressively worse with Justin Trudeau, if it weren't so damning towards our pocketbooks, I would almost be open into waiting for 2025, simply for the entertainment aspect, folks. I mean, these jokes can't write themselves. These guys are a three-ring circus. It's smoke and mirrors. It's entertaining to watch, and at least, look, I'm not saying that it's great. I'm not saying I'm happy with all the things that have happened in the country. I'm merely saying that while all the bad things are going on, it's things like this, things like Jagmeet Singh saying he's going to be Prime Minister of Canada. I mean, it at least sheds a little bit of happiness and comedy amongst a rather dismal time in our history. So I'll take what little bits of pleasure I can get out of it. But I would prefer to see an election sooner than later. And I still think the writing is on the wall for that. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If this is your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Don't forget to to turn on your bell for notifications. And join us here on the channel every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our new live stream show. We do it 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel every Friday. We had just over 15,000 viewers on that stream from Friday. Things are really taking off. A lot of people are enjoying it. We talk about everything that's gone on in this week, everything coming up in the week ahead. And we have a little bit of back and forth with the community, and it's always great to see new people in the chat. It's always good to catch up with my viewers outside of making these videos and hear what you guys have to say on a live stream. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as you could, and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.